Alright, so this is multitasking the review. I'm painting my goddamn comic, and I'm also talking about 10 Cloverfield Lane. Yeah, I'm obviously, pretty late on this, but, better late than never on this shit. So, I finally saw it, and I, I don't really know how, I don't want to say I don't know how to feel about the movie. I do know how to feel about the movie. How I feel about the movie. Yeah, okay, I guess multitasking isn't something I really am good at. Anyway, it's like part of me, like, disliked the movie, but the other part of me, like, really liked it as, at the same time. Like, I'm literally mixed with emotions. Mixed emotions? I have mixed emotions about the movie. Dear God, okay, I thought this was a good idea. It seems like it's not going very well. So, like, of course, John Goodman did a really good job, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Ramona Flowers, she did really good too, and, like, I don't know, it's like, part of me, I don't know, because, it's J.J. Abrams, all that stuff, and how Cloverfield is, and how the first one was, and all that shit. Like, I might have missed some things here and there, like, something being said, and besides it obviously having it in the title, and you see it towards the end of the movie, and for some reason my camera's pointing really low. Yeah, but I didn't see much of a connection to the first movie besides this whole, like, invasion kind of thing going on, and it's like, you're not really sure on timeline whether this is happening directly after what happened in New York, or is it happening at the same time. Like, it's not just New York, because the first one was found footage, so, it's not like, and of course when it's in New York, and they're just talking about New York, so you don't really hear them say, like, oh, also in, I think it's like Louisiana, this is happening in, and it's just like, it's a bottle movie, obviously, it's a bottle movie, and it's done really well, and, your attention is kept, with these characters, and you feel for these characters. I don't know, it's just part of me, like, I really like it because, they do a good job, and you really trust that, like, freaking Mary Elizabeth Winstead is, like, she's obviously a smart girl, and then she's, and she feels like she's kidnapped, so she's like, I have to get out of here. I really don't trust this guy. He's talking about chemicals and shit like that happening. And then this other guy who's there as well, and you see him in the trailer, who's like, no, my arm got jacked up from trying to come in here, not trying to leave. And she, and it's like, she kind of, like, believes him, and at the same time she kind of doesn't, and she's like, well, did John Goodman feed you these lies, and, all that stuff. So, I do like that how the movie starts, though, that it was just music, just score, and you see what's happening, and you just kind of figure things out by just, like, her emotion, like, her, physical, like, her emotions, all that stuff, what she's doing, what the deal is, and then how it kind of just goes, into the movie, where you're in that freaking bunker and stuff, like, and you kind of don't blame her for reacting the way she does. It's not like other movies. I realize how echoey this damn room is. It's not like other movies where, like, the person would just either immediately, like, go into full Stockholm Syndrome, or just, like, the whole, like, oh man, the dude fell asleep and left the door open, and you can just leave, and then instead she goes, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go back for my friend. That kind of shit. Or like, oh, you had the opportunity to escape, but instead, like, you tripped on the rug, and because you tripped on the rug, like, the bad guy wakes up, and then, and then he remembers to shut the door, kind of thing. Like, that doesn't happen, Like, she kind of fights him off, but it works, and it literally makes sense that he would, like, the defense, I don't want to say defense mechanism, where she, like, fights him off, and then she kind of, like, runs away and then tries to get out of the bunker, but he gets kind of caught up to her because she doesn't, like, kill him, she just kind of, like, stabs him in the head a bit, that kind of shit. And then you know, and like, part of me, like, in the beginning, I felt like, oh, well, those dead pigs were probably planted there by him, because he was probably like, well, let me scare her by saying, no, really, you know, like, the gas of whatever shit is real, and by proving that, here's some freaking, you know, dead pigs right outside, directly right outside the damn door, so you can see it, all that stuff. And she's like, no, I heard a car, and he's like, no, that's not the cars, that's the vents, and, you know, that kind of stuff. But also part of me was kind of thinking about how this movie reminds me of that episode of South Park where Cartman badly wanted to go to Casa Bonita, and he's like, Butters, you have to stay down there because there's nuclear fallout. And Butters like, oh, hamburgers, oh my god, you know. And then Cartman's like, Casa Bonita, food is fun every time, Casa Bonita. You know, he's all like happy, you know. And part of me felt like, I don't know, because like in the beginning you see like her boyfriend or whomever like called her, was like, hey, we had an argument, you're running out on me, kind of stuff. And yeah, like you kind of think like, oh, what the fuck happened and caused that? But then at the same time, like, I don't know why part of me felt like there's gonna be like some twist at the end where like her boyfriend, significant other person was like, okay, well, my girlfriend ran out on me, so I'm gonna need you guys to kidnap her. Like, I don't know why my mind went there, but for fuck's sakes, with movies like this nowadays, I'm kind of like, not surprised, but surprised, you know, like, it kind of did or did not go there kind of shit. But yeah, again, like, John Goodman did a really, really good job, but it's fucking John Goodman, so really, like, you know, because you know, you watch Roseanne, and he's like, oh, you know, he's like that really lovable, you know, chubby dad type and all that shit, and, you know, like, you kind of like trust him at first, you know, but then like when he was saying like, this picture right here is my daughter Megan, and then she showed it to Hurt Arm Guy, and he's like, that's not Megan, that's not what she looks like, that's a girl that went missing. And she's like, oh my god, I knew it, this guy was totally lying to me this whole time, and he's gonna want me dead, like all that stuff. And it's like, oh my god, he's gonna want you dead, you know. And then the fact that, you know, you kind of have, like, the quick exposition in the beginning that she is a, like, clothing designer and all that stuff, so for her to want to fashion, like, a hazmat suit out of the ducky shower curtain was very smart, and again, like, you can tell she's not a dumb girl, because immediately in the beginning, like, once she wakes up in that room, and, you know, you see her starting to, like, try to, you know, get the fuck out of there, and she is freaking, you know, like, using, like, the IV pole thing and grabbing her stuff, like, she's, like, it's kind of Captain Obvious, but some people would be like, oh, I wouldn't have thought to grab the pole and done this, you know, like, you can tell that she kind of works really fast in her mind, you know, it's not just, like, again, other movies like this where, like, where she kind of, like, where someone is, like, stuck somewhere, and then there's, like, Captain Obvious things like that, where you as the audience, you're like, why isn't this bitch using that thing that's, you know, readily available for her to use? Instead, she's just, like, struggling, like, you know, trying to, like, throw a piece of bacon into a pan. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But, yeah, like, you know, there's, like, a part of me is like, yeah, I was kind of, I don't know, I feel like towards the end, like, there wasn't that big of a payoff. I don't know, I think, I guess I expected more. I guess I expected, like, the Cloverfield monster from the first one. Guess I expected, like, I don't know, some fucking, like, Independence Day kind of fucking alien shit. Although I did like her reaction when she saw, like, the ship go by, and she's like, no fucking way. Like, she was like, oh, you fucking kidding me? You know, like, this shit is real. Like, the world has gone, you know, to the shitter and all that stuff. And then, yeah, there's that part where when she first tried to leave, and like I said, she kind of like stabbed John Goodman in the face, and then she sees like this woman, she's like, help, let me in, and she's just like, and John Goodman's like, don't let her in, blah, 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 blah. Don't let her in, all that shit, and then she's just like, do I let her in? But then, like, look at her skin, it's all kind of fucked up, and he's like, see, look at her skin, she's one of them. Why do I sound like fucking Christopher Lloyd? Marty! You know? And it's like, no, she's one of them. You see her skin, like I told you, chemicals and shit. You know, and you're kind of like, alright, sure, you know. I know, like, my review on, like, the first movie, it was just me just being like a nitpicky asshole about like things taking place in New York, and you know, the what do you call that, I forgot the word, but you know, like the possibility of you being able to walk all those distances and still be okay, like that kind of stuff. I was just being like an asshole for that review. Really, it wasn't like obviously a legit review on the movie itself. You know, I think what it is, if it didn't have the Cloverfield name, the ending where you do see like the kind of spaceship and the lights and the weird things and stuff, I think it would probably be more of a surprise, you know? Not even a surprise, but it would just be more like a, oh, that's what happened. It wasn't nuclear fallout. An alien invasion happened. Okay, you know? I think it probably would have been more interesting, but the fact that, you know, they did put, like, the Cloverfield name to it, so then, you know, people are kind of expecting, you know, like a fucking monster, so when you kind of get your monster at the end kind of thing, you kind of just get a thing in the end, and you're kind of a bit disappointed. But of course, my mind's going through the freaking riff tracks where in the first movie, when obviously when they showed the monster and they're saying like, you know, have your 5-year-old design me a monster and go. I don't want to say the ending felt short, but it kind of felt like it a bit to me, where like, you know, she's driving, she gets back in her car and she like, you know, is driving away, and then she's like, you know, and she's finally hearing some like chatter on the AM like station, and people are like, you know, like we've reclaimed like the southern like shore of, you know, of US or whatever fuck, you know, and you know, just if you're south, like keep heading up north, but if you are a like doctor or someone who has medical training or whatever fuck, like, you know, if you can help us, please do help us. And of course, you know, what she fucking does is immediately, you know, just, like, stop the car and you see the sign that says either, like, I think it's like you're going north in, like, Louisiana, or you turn left and you're going to Houston, Texas. And she was just like, well, alright, I guess I'll go to Houston, Texas and help people out, you know, and it's like, alright, you know? I don't know. Like, it's cool that she's wanting to help. I don't know. Just, I'm like, in this movie, I don't know. I'm kind of like in the middle of, you know, because I like some parts, and some parts I'm like, I don't know. Like, in general, like, all the shit that happened in the bunker, I really enjoyed. Not a foreshadowing, I guess, because she's the only one that could slip through the vents because she's tiny enough. You kind of knew in the end, like, that was, like, her way of escape. Was like, well, the only way for her to escape is through the fucking vents because she's tiny. You know, because you got big old John Goodman, or Dude, but, you know, Dude gets shot by John Goodman, put into some fucking hydrofluoric acid, going all full Breaking Bad, with the fucking, like, you know, blue, you know, like, crates, bin tub thingies, you know. Yeah, that guy was good, because, like, you can, like, he was kind of, like, neutral to a degree, like, because he was just, like, reassuring her that John Goodman wasn't crazy, but at the same time, like, okay, if you want to leave, I guess I'll help you out, you know, kind of stuff, because he is being a bit on the strict side and being a bit on the crazy side, you know, like, he was just like, alright, whatever, but then it's like, oh, actually, you know, I get myself freaking killed because John Goodman. I found the first movie interesting because of it being, like, high-budgeted found footage, because it wasn't just, like, found footage and it's ghosts, but it's like, oh, found footage, and there was, like, a monster kind of thing, and I thought it, like, at first, when that movie came out, I thought it was gonna be, like, found footage Godzilla, like, that's what it seemed like, that they were gonna, like, do a new Godzilla movie, and I almost fell off, but make it found footage, because that was, like, the thing, but, you know, but again, like, because, even though I paid attention, but I was still trying to, like, I think that's another thing, again, because you know it's J.J. Abrams, you know it's, like, in the Lost universe, and not in that exactly universe, but because of stuff like Lost, and again, with the first Cloverfield, and there's all these little, like, you know, like, hints, and, you know, like, little things, and I didn't go on any websites, you know, to, like, look at further FBI footage kind of shit, you know, like, so I probably missed a lot that probably connected it, you know, but again, like, that's what got distracting, because it is part of the Cloverfield world, you know, because you're looking for more clues when you should really just be enjoying the movie as is. And I feel like that's probably what got me kind of about the movie, because like instead of just seeing this as like a bottle movie kind of kidnap kind of movie thing, instead I'm like looking, you know, for the twist, looking for, you know, like any weird thing, like at the end of the first movie where like they quickly just turn the camera around and you see like this thing, you know, fall into the water and you're like, wait, what did I just see? Like, did I just see that? You know, like, I don't know. Again, I was trying to like look for those things like while I was watching it, and I was like, I guess I missed something. Like, I don't know, probably like on a second viewing or something, I would probably either enjoy it more just so I can tell myself like, alright, don't try to look for clues and just enjoy it as the movie as is. 10 Cloverfield Lane is alright, you know, but I remember when I first saw the trailer of it, because again, I thought it was just some post-apocalyptic movie, and then when the title card comes out, it's 10 Cloverfield Lane, I immediately go, ooh, I got like shivers, I'm a fan kind of shit. I was like excited because I was thinking like, ooh, monsters and weird stuff, and then again, then when I see it, I was just like, oh, okay, just, yeah, well, I don't know. It's not bad, nor is it great, it's just, it is, I don't know. I'm just rambling, because, fuck should I know, that's exactly how I feel about the movie, just, I don't know, and it's alright, rambles. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking and rambling, anyway, so.
Process, remember, we were talking about bad people who don't care how many they kill to get to their objective.
You would think that there would be much better. Granted, that guy, Zakovian guy, was obviously not stupid, but it's just, you would.
Yeah. No, it's like I said, it's like what I said in my Days of Future Past one. It's like the moment she won her Oscar, they're like, okay, we gotta make her important.
Oh, that's why?
I don't think that's exactly why. I think it...
Because you heard that they want to make her own movie.